This is part 2 of talking about what I experienced with Saito Sensei in New Zealand, first time I met him. He dissolved. Now, we have so much freedom that I've just shown a film already explaining about it, and you may have wondered what I was getting at. I didn't show the actual technique in the dojo, but I was talking about it. So you may be left with like half a story. And with the film, part 1 of this, that's the first section of why I started thinking, how does Sensei dissolve? And I use the word dissolve because that's what it felt like. Over the years, when I have grabbed him, I've grabbed wrists. He used to use me a lot for the strongest grips or the most advanced techniques where he needed somebody to really pin him. I remember grabbing him from behind and thinking, he's going to have to do really well to get out of this. You know, there's me thinking that. Forget the respect that I had for him, because this can be a weakness. If you respect the sensei so much, like we all should, it can sometimes be a disadvantage to you to give 100%. So yes, you're giving 100% in your gripping, but because you think so much of your sensei, you may not give him what I say 100% commitment of really wanting to hold him as if you would if it was an attacker and you was trying to prevent them from doing damage to you or another person. So the anger may not be involved, so I can't say if that would add to it or not. But when a sensei like him would tell you, grip like this, he's telling you something that not many masters have told me over the years, and that is, he's telling you the best advantage to you, uke, the worst advantage to nage. So here's the answer that I'm going to give you. It may take you a lifetime to answer it, you may never answer it. It depends on your level. Out of all the people that I've ever taught and ever seen, I may be able to count on 1 or 2 fingers, not the whole hand, who's got the ability to find this. But this is why I'm putting it on film, because I'm hoping that out there somewhere others are going to find what I found. I'm not trying to say this in an arrogant way that I found something and the rest of the world hasn't. But it started back then, and for many, many years, and still today, it's a way of checking yourself against many things. It's like getting in the car. If it's cold, you might put the heated seats on if you've got them. You might put the heated steering wheel on. If it's raining, you'll add the wipers. You might like a little bit of music, so you put the radio on. So these similaries are all about like adding to your Aikido. So the biggest thing we add to our Aikido really are, apart from techniques, we see the technique. We learn the technique from a beginner's stage. As we get better over the years, it gets better. We become more coordinated, more powerful. And the pyramid climbs, you know, you're climbing this pyramid. You're climbing this pyramid. But we never really know how far it is to the top of the pyramid. If someone's holding you in Katadori, Munadori, Katatadori, Shomanuchi, Yokomanuchi, Ushido, two-hand, grip, Ushiro Ryokatate, Ushiro Ryokata, elbow hold from the rear. These, once they start getting you from the rear, it becomes more difficult to escape. If you're strong, then you can bring the hands to the front, lift them above your head, turn the body. But Sensei never done this. And a lot of the people that's watching don't see what he's teaching them, and he didn't see they didn't hear what he was saying. He said, if a strong person like Tony is holding me 2 hands from the rear, there's no way Tony's going to let me lift his arms up any higher than my centre, unless I do it through technique. So the technique would be to stand up. The technique would be from the rear. You can have your hands either by your side, or just alter the camera. You can have them by your side to the rear, where this action comes to here. So when it's to the side, we push our buttocks through, we bring our hands here, you'll choose one, you'll turn it, you see how low it is, and then you'll turn it and you'll slowly escape with your buttocks first, and then once you've made the hole, you'll escape with your torso. Now look how large my torso is compared to the size of my arm. So you can't get your torso out, can you, until you've done this, and slowly made a hole. It's still, even the technique being good, it still takes power. You need power. So you do this quickly, or else they will stop you. They've still got you held in the wrist here, very tight. So when you make a hole like this, so it's good, you're being an escape artist. At no point does it come, you push your butt, at no point does it come up here. Remember, Tony is holding this and he's going to be fighting you all the way. So you're not going to get it. So here, you have to get your body and you lower it below your elbow. Okay? So you lower your body below your elbow. I'm talking to you about techniques on how to escape from Ushiro. Now here's the answer that I want to part with you that I've not told anybody ever before. And I'm giving you this as a gift. And you need to try it, consider it, and perhaps consider it many years. Or consider it, and when we meet or when we Zoom or have a conversation, you must ask me and tell me your findings and ask me for any more advice, because the next part is going to be difficult and only you can understand it, not me, because I've already understood it. So first of all, you try and attempt to ask somebody who's big, strong, or they just need to be strong and their arms need to be able to get round you. They lock you from behind in a bear hug. You need them to have their fingers locked in some way so that you can't break out of their grip. Okay, so from behind they have you in a bear hug. Over the years I've tried puffing myself up the second they grab. So you puff yourself up so that this feeling, you see my arms are like a wedge, so that we know that they're going to be able to, you're going to be able to slip out of it, because you are like the pyramid. You are like this, the pyramid. Okay. So they've trapped you in a bear hug, and they need to get you so that your elbows are trapped. So the only thing you've got left to move is your hand, because you cannot move any part of your arms, okay? So in a bear hug, yes, you've got in a bear hug, you've got the ability to move your hands and they're in front of you, but they have no use to you. I'd like you to try it and then analyse yourself, analyse how you cope with it. What I'm hoping that you'll go through is a mental acknowledgement of, I don't think I can escape this. That's one. What way shall I try to escape this? Two. Is your ego being tested because you don't think you can do it? Three. If you try to relax, become really soft like a marshmallow, you might be able to escape. But when you attempt it and you find that you can't, are you not only surprised but deflated? Four. When you come up with the fifth answer, and that is you have no idea whatsoever how to get out of it, it's not a technique that you're going to look at or do very often, because you don't like to lose face or just look bad. I'm not talking to you just as a teacher, I'm talking to you as a human being who wants to do it. Now, if you master this understanding, you will have mastered the true essence of Aikido. Escaping without want, escaping without feeling embarrassed, escaping smoothly because you didn't have judgment of whether it was going to work or not. They may all sound the same things, but it's the emotions that only you will know what you go through. Make sure that your partner who is holding you has the absolute best advantage. If you feel that, oh, that's good, I think I can escape now because I can slide my arm through, get my buttock out the way. If you think you can do that, you haven't found what I'm talking about. You're looking to succeed, and there's a difference. So I'm going to give you the answer because I know how to do it. But your mind may not be forward enough thinking, or even mad enough to think it. Let's say that you're a cat, a mouse, let's say that the scientists tell us that we are just matter, we are particles. When I feel myself, I feel solid, so it's very difficult for me to believe that I'm just matter. To me, that's something like, is there an end to the universe? It's more than my mind can take in and accept. But let's just for a moment say, okay, so I'm really just a load of particles. Say I'm a mouse and I need to get under a door, and the door has, let's say, a centimetre of space. I don't know how much a mouse really needs, but let's just for this film. How does that mouse, what is the same as you and me, got a bone structure? And if, let's say, one died, decomposed, you would be left with a skeleton. And the skeleton would be in one solid piece, one frame. And the frame would show its head, neck, and then its large body tailing off. If you're looking at it from a side view. And yet it's the side view that mouse collapses. It doesn't tip itself on its side, does it, and keep its neck straight. It just goes down through the other side and comes back to normal size. And a cat does it as well. And you may know this, but I've never thought about it. So what I decided to do many years ago was to go through different stages to find where I am at now. And this is what I'm hoping, this is a real secret, but it's whether your mind will allow you to understand it. That's the question. So the question will take time to get an answer, and the answer may never come because your mind may elude you to find the answer because you can't believe that where's the end of the universe. You know, your mind will not allow you to compromise and go into a weird way of thinking. So when I tried over the years, at first I was really powerful and strong. So it don't matter who held me, very rarely anywhere in the world. One or two people could, and I can't do it, and gave up. As I got better, I learned tricks, and the tricks are, as they come to squeeze you, you puff up, and you, like a puffer fish, you puff up. It may be only centimetres, but you put it puff up. Then you think to yourself, I know I'm cheating, but that's the only way I can do it. So you try to become more subtle, and instead of puffing up, you try to build a wall that your body is not going to reduce any more than when they grab you. So to them, they feel a firm body, the arms, you know, the whole thing feels like a solid lump to them. And then what you would do is you would relax, and while you relax and just relax all your muscles and all your body, that gives you enough time to stamp on their foot. So you stamp, relax, escape. So that's the second stage I went through. Then I thought, I'm having to be quick enough, and some people were outspeeding me, and they were getting, before I could relax, and when I went to stamp a couple of times, their foot wasn't there. They'd worked out that their foot was going to be stamped on, and they didn't like it. So they move their foot where you can't see behind you without either looking down and then you can't see a lot. And you can atemi with the buttocks, but when a bear hug, they're holding you so close that their pubic bone or stomach is so close to your buttocks that you can't attempt to get any atemi from the buttock. All you do is bend them, but they're still holding you tightly. So what I now know is from the day we held Saito Sensei against the wall, he done something different. And the difference is I now have tried various ways. Somebody will hold my wrist and they may find it feels powerful. And as you get better, you offer them the wrist, you offer them the shape that it's alive and dynamic, it's actually just open. That then makes it more mushy. So this is called controlled relaxation. The next stage is when they go to grip, you absorb them in as if you're sucking a drink out of a straw. As they squeeze, you don't change this to a limp so that they're holding nothing, because they will get to a point they'll squeeze and they'll know they're holding nothing, but they've still got their mind firmly on that hold. So what I now do, whether it's the gripping of the wrist or anything, I become the mouse or the cat. And I truly believe that I can reduce my internal frame so that I can escape from their external frame. So they become the door, I become the mouse. And that bit might be the bit that's blown you away, or you just can't understand this concept. So I'm giving you it. Good luck, and any more questions, or if you've experienced any of the things that I've said, perhaps this film will help you to get to the next stage. There's so many stages you have to go through mentally, as I've just explained. But if you keep thinking you have to escape by temi, or the technique will allow you to escape if it's done correctly, then the one technique that I'm asking you to do over the next however many years you want to do it, occasionally test yourself with a bear hug from the rear, not from the front. It can be done from the front, but it's easier from the front. A bear hug from the rear, get them in their strongest position to hold you, work on all the things that will destroy you mentally, and when you say, I can't do it, then search deeper, search further. And if you're still left with, I can't do it in years to come, then to me, you've only experienced technical Aikido, not the fullness of what the power of the mind can allow you to reach. I'm hoping to reach much further while I'm here on Earth, and perhaps I'll share it with you in a few years' time. But that is the secret, the gift I'm giving you of so many, it must be nearly 40 years ago now, 1983. Right? So that started me thinking, and I've been thinking ever since about it, and I now realise that all the softness, all the relaxing, all the melting, all the conniving, the scheming, the tricks, the technique is you must learn how to dissolve. And as Sensei said, he went through the wall when we pushed him, into the bedroom, out into the corridor, and he came back and he pushed us against the wall. If you can understand that and understand the bear hug and all the things I've told you about it, make your body into microns that become smaller and smaller and dissolve and are placed in a different dimension than you have been. Good luck. I wish you well. Thank you for listening, and above all, thank you for allowing me to talk and teach you what I can.